Good morning, guys. Good morning, Nicola. Morning, Joy. Morning, Gianna. Lori, good morning. Shannon, good morning. Maria, good morning. Guys, make sure to please mute your mics. If not, I will help you mute. Well, we will get started. There are some folks who will be joining us, so I will I'll admit them into the room as I get cracking here, so don't mind my evasiveness. Good morning, El. Saturday morning, and thanks for joining. Today should be a good one. But before I get started, I do like to give updates of kind of what's going on kind of in our county, that as well as I'm aware of. I get to talk to a few folks that are in some positions that make some decisions. Let's start. First and foremost, I appreciate everybody for being with us. These are tough times, and I know that what we're doing is a little slice of pie away from the madness that's out there today. Not to mention school has started, so we're home learning, distance learning for some. We got these fires going on, and it's wreaking havoc on some people's lives. Again, we deal with the smoke, but some folks are dealing with evacuations, loss of homes, and a whole lot bigger issues than what we're dealing with. It has presented some problems for us here at the gym. I think we've made some good modifications with shutting doors, putting the air conditioners on, trying to make things right. We're kind of bending our rules and our guidelines that we're asked to abide by, but it's at this point, guys, it's one half dozen the other. So, our main goal here is to make sure that we keep you guys safe. So on some days the air has been so thick it would have made things impossible. So we took the lesser of the two evils, and it seemed to work out. So having the doors closed but cracked a little bit has helped. Let me kind of go over a little bit of household rules again. Please, guys, when we come to the gym, we wait outside for the coach. Well, let me back up. We have to sign up for our classes. No matter what, we have to sign up for our classes. Okay, we have some folks who are still not doing that. We're helping them along the way. But if you have any questions, if you have any problems with signing up, please call Susan during the day. She's got this thing pretty well mastered, and she will guide you through it. Please don't ever tell me that there's not a class available, because if there's not, we usually know about it ahead of time, and we can make whatever adjustments we need to within our guidelines. Um, but truth be known, it's all about a mindset, and that is what we're going to talk about a little bit today. So number 2 is make sure you're waiting outside. You come in the front entrance. Please always be cognizant of the people who are in the grid marks. If that means you have to go out the perimeter doors, then please do so. Don't walk through groups. Again, we're not out of these waters, and we need to stay within our guidelines as much as possible. If you have towels that you've taken home with you, please bring those towels back so we know they're clean, and we have accountability for them. Make sure you're wiping everything down when you're in the facility. After you get done, some people get to be moving too quick and tend to forget. We're going behind you and doing that. And we're trying to make sure we catch everything, but sometimes we don't. If you're in the restrooms, please make sure you're washing your hands, cleaning those sinks off. We have materials there for you as well. If we now have our showers open, so let me explain how we're able to open them. In other clubs where they have multiple showers, they're allowed to use the showers, but they have to use every other one. They can't use the showers in a row. We're fortunate here in that we have 2 showers. They're pretty personal showers. We just have to make sure that we go in. Well, first off, when you're done, please make sure you remove everything of yours out of there. Shampoo bottles, soaps, whatever it is you're using, you need to take home with you. And then we'll go behind you and we'll go ahead and spray and wipe down. So the showers are open. I think that's pretty much it. Our county's doing pretty good, actually, with our numbers, which is great to know because we don't ever want to get on that watch list at this point in time. 3 days on that watch list means everything indoors will be shut down, and then you have to move everything outside. That may be all well and good now, but we deal with heat, and pretty soon we'll be dealing with inclement weather. So we're hoping that if we all do our part and keep everybody safe, we will hit that list. And the other problem with that list is, even if you're on the list, you have to shut it down or move outside. And then you come off the list. You can't reopen up until your public health administrator for that county says you can do so. So even though you come off the list, doesn't mean you can reopen back up and run things the way you were. So the more we do now to offset that, the better we're going to be. So having those updates, does anybody have any questions for me? On mic, chat, whatever, please ask the question so I can clear it up. Gabe's online. If I don't know the answer, or Susan, they're online. They will also be able to help you. Anybody have any questions? If you're not feeling well, if you even have an inkling that you're not feeling well, stay home. Just stay home. That's the most common sense thing to do. We're going to keep asking you the questions. Please give those honest answers. Even if you kind of pull into the parking lot and you're not sure, just turn around and go home. Now, I know the mindset. Well, I don't really feel like working out today, so I don't really think I feel that well. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. So let's get into today's topic. And I thought it prudent to talk about mindset, because whether or not it has to do with the gym, and we've seen people step back recently into their old mindset. When COVID first hit, we were all told we had to stay at home. I know, and the coaches know, every person we called, for the most part, couldn't wait to get back into the gym. Couldn't wait to get back into the gym. I didn't realize how much I absolutely missed it. I didn't realize how good I felt. And then we got back into the gym. And the first 2 weeks went really great. And then guess what happened? If you always do what you always done, you'll always get what you always got. Isn't that the way it goes? All of a sudden, people found all the reasons again why they couldn't come to the gym. Now, I'm not saying your reasons to you weren't valid. In your mind, but you fell back into your old mindset. So what is a mindset, guys? What's a mindset? It's very simple. It's a set of attitudes held by someone and the way they think. Pretty clear. It's just the way an individual thinks. Now, there's 2 overarching mindsets, and then there's 7 different mindsets within that, ish. So what are the 2 mindsets? There's a fixed mindset, and there's a growth mindset. Any of you ever looked and kind of read up a little bit on Dr. Dweck out of Stanford? She kind of explains it pretty well. So when you look at a growth mindset, you kind of start thinking like there's nothing you can't do. Everything in life is possible, right? We talked about passion about a week or 2 ago. You know, what's your passion? What's the thing that excites you? You know, when you get out of bed in the morning, right? You drive all your energy that way. 100% accountability. That's a big one, folks. There's still a lot of folks out there not taking accountability for themselves. Or if they are, they're not sharing it and they're not admitting it, especially to themselves. Having that, we talked a long time ago about having that gratitude, that attitude of gratitude. And then, you know, and I think a lot of us do live to give. I firmly believe that. There's some greediness. There's some selfishness out there. Some folks who are selfish. You know who you are. You know, the world owes me everything. But the other part of this is the time is now, guys. The time is now. I'm going to share something with you at the end. I actually saw it. I was out at a restaurant last Friday, and I was outside, and I walked in, and this thing hit me in the face. It was pretty incredible. So, talk about a fixed mindset. What goes into a fixed mindset? It's either I'm really good at something or I'm not. I'm either good at it or I'm not. There's no gray area in there. Okay? I can't learn it now. It's too late. I'm just too old. It's too late. Too late for me to learn it. There's no point in trying if I'm going to fail. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's some folks on this call. I hear that all the time. There's no point in trying if I'm going to fail. Now, guys, remember, when I have these Saturday mornings, these are not, let me just hammer you. This is awareness. This is, remember I said the message that your purpose, the message you want to send out to folks. What is it you're really sending out? What is that message? Okay. I'm telling you right now, these are things I hear. I take feedback as a personal attack. Now, the fixed mindset will say, well, that's how I heard it. Live to grow. I always struggle with. The Do I always struggle with math? Do I always struggle with diet? Do I always struggle with relationships? Do I always struggle with? 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 I feel threatened and intimidated by the success of others. So how does that fit in? Well, who's working out at that time? Well, so and so and so. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's not a good time for me to work out. So that's your fixed mindset. Those are some examples of your fixed mindset. So let's talk about it a little bit more. Are your failures the limit of your abilities? Is that what you think? Failure is the limit of your ability? I'm either good at this or I'm not. Here's a good one. My abilities are unchanging. I can or I can't. I don't like it when I'm challenged. And I already know my potential is predetermined. When I'm frustrated, here's here, let this resonate. When I'm frustrated, I give up. I stick to what I know. I know a lot of coaches who do that. They don't want to step outside their comfort zone. Well, this is how I learned it. Oh, no, that's how you learn that. But there's a whole lot of this that you need to learn. There's a little bit of humility in there. My question to y'all is, I just gave you a bunch of examples. Now, here's the question, and don't answer it. Answer it to yourself. Do you know this person? Do you know this person? The examples I gave you, look deep down in your soul. Do you know this person? The next time you decide to forfeit your day, do you know that person? How about the growth mindset now? Let's turn some things around. Failure is an opportunity to grow. I can learn to do anything. I can learn to do anything I want. Now, mind you, there's some subtitles in there, right? Yeah, you're going to get frustrated. Yeah, you're going to be tired. Yeah, you're going to lack time. But I can do it. Challenges, when I'm challenged, they help me grow because my effort and my attitude determine my abilities. And folks, it's funny because I know Lori's on here. Lori and I were talking about this the other morning. You think guys, we don't know the excuses? You think I don't see through them? The minute I get it on my phone, I'm telling you, I'm calling BS right off the top. And no, let me answer this question. I'm not calling you a liar. It's not like that. It had nothing to do with that. See, you're being challenged. You take it as an attack. I'm calling it what it is. And sometimes that's hard for people to hear. All of us. But if you can grow from it, if you're challenged and you can grow from it, that's huge. Because you can learn to do anything. And yeah, it's not going to be comfortable. If you want comfort, go to Hawaii, go sit on the beach and wither yourself away. But most of life is not that way. So challenges help you grow because your effort and your attitude determines your abilities. Take your feedback, take the feedback that you get and use it as being constructive. and trying new things. People fear trying new things because, and new things could be going to the gym for some people. Oh, I don't want to look stupid. Okay. I don't want to be humiliated. I'm going to look different than everybody else. I can't do what everybody else does. Think about that attitude. Because now in the growth mindset, you can be this person. You absolutely can be this person. My question is, do you want to do what it takes to be that person? Now, when I sit down with people, the very onset, I hear three things. Usually. I hear a lot more, but three main categories. I want to look good. I want to feel good. And I want to perform better. Three things. And what do I get? This diet, this food plan, this nutrition, this fuel, it's not working. No, your mindset's not working. Because trust me, I got thousands and thousands of people. We got thousands and thousands of people here over the years. And it's funny, it worked for them. It worked for them. You're no different. But your mindset is. So switching a mindset. Now that you've determined, you got a little information about where you sit, can you switch your mindset? Here's your answer. Yep. It's that simple. YES. Yes, you can. You can change from that fixed mindset to a growth mindset, where you believe you can get better and you will get better. And yes, there's always a price to pay. As Coach Gabe would say, you got to take your arrows. But if you're not humble, if you're not gracious, if you think you know everything, if we give you something and you don't follow it, what do you want us to do? Change your mindset. So that, remember now, that growth mindset offers you that passion and that ability to learn. But there's another step. You have to implement it. You got to execute it. And you have to execute it every single day. And yes, you're going to have slip-ups. There's always going to be the occasional slip-up. How do you adjust that from that slip-up? So you got to practice it, right? Like anything else. You got to practice it. And when you do that, you're now improving your creativity, your intellect, and in some cases, and to me, the most important case is your relationships. You'll start moving toward that I don't fail all the time. Because a person that is in that fixed mindset who thinks that's what they do, you're never going to want to try new things. You're going to live in this little box because you're going to be scared and you're going to miss out on so much of life. So much of life. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's hiking. I don't care if it's bicycle riding. I don't care if it's learning stuff on the computer. That's one of my biggest struggles. I used to think the damn thing, if I pressed the wrong button, the damn thing was going to break. First, I had to figure out which button turned the damn thing on. And now I'm starting to learn, well, you can play around with this stuff and kind of do these things. And it's taken me forever. And Gabe, you better stop freaking laughing because, yeah, I know I'm still not good at it. I'm not. I get it, but I'm going to be getting better. So You got to try new things. Coaches, you got to try new programming. Coaches, you got to try to implement some of the stuff from what you know and take other things of what other people know and go learn those things and implement them in your programs. But you have to be humble enough to do it. You have to be humble enough to go to somebody like a mentor and say, "Hey, teach me." Because contrary to everybody's belief, we all don't know everything. But you will learn from the failure and you'll turn most of your bad experiences into, as Coach Gabe would say, teaching moments. Teaching moments. So, why is the mindset important? Because everybody knows this. Everybody knows that a good mindset, a good attitude is what you need to have. But why do you need to have it? So, mindset, hopefully everybody's got their coffee this morning. So, please, hopefully you're drinking it as I'm moving along here. So, why is it important? Whether you're young or older, why is that mindset so important? So, let's identify some of the reasons why it's important. It plays a huge part in your growth as a person, as a person. But you have to be willing to want to grow. If you're in that fixed mindset, you're not wanting to grow. You're like, oh, I'm cool right where I'm at. I'm really good. Are you? And guys, this isn't a put down because I think every day we can all get better somewhere in our lives. This is just, again, really trying to turn the soil and plant new seeds for you. When you're in a growth mindset, you now are ready to serve rather than get served. And the only way for you to be able to do that, when you don't feel that entitlement, it requires a growth mindset. Because in our lives, family, community, work, guys, we're leaders. Okay. We are leaders. Moms are leaders. Dads are leaders. At least we're supposed to be. Okay. And if you don't think you are, secretly, you want to be led by a leader. And leaders invest in themselves. They educate, they hire coaches, right? That's what good leaders do. Look at any of them. So we are leaders in our families, our businesses, our communities. And your mindset here is so important in that role. Dr. Eric Thomas, man, says you reap what you sow. And if you reap well, you will sow well. So leaders make decisions. And sometimes they turn out right. Sometimes they turn out wrong. But either way, the decision's made. Again, if you reap well, you will sow well. A good mindset is a commitment to succeed. A commitment to succeed in whatever level of your business you want to, in whatever level at your home you want to, in whatever level of your fitness you want to, in whatever level of your nutrition you want to. It will be your commitment, our commitment to succeed. This role, folks, that you take as that leader speaks volumes to those who you are influencing. I don't want to say necessarily leader, but who you're influencing in your family, in your families, in your business, in your community. We always say, there's that old saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'll just leave that right there. But a lot of times I can see the same patterns. Remember, I talked about patterns in kids that I see in parents. And by God, I always say, man, I've made more mistakes in my life than people ever want to be a friend of mine for. So it's easy for me to speak on this subject. As long as you don't make those same mistakes twice, you're going to learn. But who and how are you influencing? If you're making excuses, I'm going to expect, I guarantee you, I'm going to hear excuses from the children. So that commitment to succeed, that growth mindset is huge. Your commitment is just about motivating. It's not just about you. It's not just about that motivating, but your purpose, your passion. What is it when you get up and you're excited in the morning? Your drive to excel. Hey, I'm going to make this a freaking great day. When I talk about excel, maybe that's all it is. You know, you get up and you say to yourself, wow, my body hurts today. I'm not really sure I'm going to go. You know what? No, I'm going to turn this thing around. I love when people come into the facility. Hey, good morning. How are you? I'm okay. Really? Really? Or how is it you could come in every single day and something else hurts? It's a mindset. It's a mindset, guys. Or how many times do you come into the facility and do you ever ask somebody else, remember serving? How many times do you ever come into the facility and ask somebody else, how do you feel today? You always ask me how I'm doing. How do you feel today? Growth mindset. So see, this is what pushes us to answer the bell every day. Answer the bell every day and go beyond what's required. I test people. I'll say, hey, we're going to do an extra. You guys are so good to me today. We're going to give you a bonus round. Very few times do I ever hear the group say, yeah, let's go. And I mean young and older. Oh, are you kidding me? Mindset. The next thing you get with that growth mindset is the ability to adapt. You hear me? I use that, I don't know if you haven't heard me say this. I had a coach in college one time and we were playing against Penn State. And it was going to be loud. There was probably 80,000+ in the stadium that night. And I was doing some audibling for the defensive line and we had changed some schemes around. And Coach Harden called me in and he says, hey, you got to learn how to I&A tonight. And I'm making the story real quick. And I said, I&A, Coach? I said, I don't understand. He goes, yeah. He goes, you're not going to be able to hear me. In some cases, you're not going to be able to see me. It's going to be loud. You got to I&A. You got to learn how to improvise and adjust. That has stuck with me since 1982. 1982. You got to learn how to improvise and you got to learn how to adjust. So when your mindset is good, and I've mentioned before, you become more creative, you accept challenging situations, you become flexible to meet whatever that challenge is that you're up against. So you have to become adaptable. And a growth mindset allows you to do that. It allows you to say, yeah, I'm not going to do the same old treadmill. I'm going to get on the Jacob's ladder. I don't care how this hurts. I'm still going to get on the rower. See, a lot of people, sometimes people don't understand that when I hear this hurts, that hurts, so I'm going to do this. It's the same damn movement. You're just taking it a little easier on yourself. So you got to understand, we understand movement, guys. And one movement and another movement being identical Just means this one here is more challenging and this one's not. So you're choosing not to do that one. We're on to you. We're on to you. Okay. So accept challenging situations and be flexible and be adaptable. Meet the odds. You become a high performer. Now, a year ago or so, I talked about becoming a high performer. And everyone in their life at some point or another, you secretly want to be known as a high performer. But in order to do this, guys, you got to walk the walk, not talk the talk. You got to walk the walk. You need to take the lead. You need to seek out people who can help you take the lead in whatever your initiative is. Whatever it is, whatever you're gonna bring about to yourself, you need to take the lead in it. Don't expect somebody to sign you up for a class. You take the lead in it. Don't expect for somebody to make your food for you. You take the lead in it. And if you don't, then you reap what you sow. There's a lot of times during the day, for me, I don't eat enough. That's my fault. That's my accountability. Okay? So you need to take the lead. And remember, guys, in today's world, good just isn't good enough anymore. It's unfortunate. It just isn't. It just isn't. It's unfortunate, but it just isn't. Everyone is your competition. Everybody. And whatever you're doing, everyone's your competition. So you have to push harder than everyone else. And having a growth mindset helps you to achieve that high performance. Because people can tell you anything you want. But when you start assessing yourself, there's a great poem out there. It's called The Man in the Mirror. And in some cases today, you can call it The Woman in the Mirror. Okay? Go read that poem. Because at the end of the day, the only voice that should speak to you is that person in the mirror. It's the only one you got to answer to. It's the only face you got to wash. Having a growth mindset helps you deal with struggles. And Lord, 2020, we're sitting in the middle of it. I don't need to go into all the examples. You guys are high functioning folks. You see them just like I do. And remember, we talked about early on in COVID that adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And we're seeing that all along the way now, guys, even being back into play. Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And there's a great Swedish proverb, and it goes like this. And if you got a pencil, write it down. Or if you got notes on your computer, write it down. Goes like this. So in most calm waters, every ship has a good captain. In most calm waters, every ship has a good captain. However, when the waters are stormy, that's when you understand how effective your mindset really is. Or how effective your mindset really can be. Because push come to shove, when you get pushed into a situation, you're going to adapt and your mindset's going to change because you're forced to. But I love that. So in most calm waters, every ship has a good captain. So when the waters are turbulent, when you wake up and you're just not feeling it, when the bill collector comes, when, you have to work on a relationship, how is your mindset now? Okay. Sometimes, in most cases, you got to alter your life or life is altered for you. Because now you're attempting to navigate new waters, a new course of action. And why? Because exceeding your expectations requires mental toughness. Mental toughness, which is real simple. It's the idea of being able to push past failures by remaining positive and competitive. And sometimes that's really slow. It's a slow process. We talk with our players all the time, and Gabe and I for years have always told our players, if you don't take a risk, you can't make the play. And yeah, when you make that decision to take a risk, just like we talked about before, sometimes it's going to turn out good and sometimes it's not going to turn out so good. And when it doesn't turn out so good, you learned. And when it turned out good, you still learned. And you might be able to do it again. You might be able to recreate it. So take a risk sometimes. That's the only way you're going to dig yourself out of the hole. It's the only way you're going to get out of that hole. You're going to have to take a risk. But it requires that mental toughness. The idea of being able to push past failures by remaining positive and competitive. Accountability. I saved this one toward the end a little bit. Accountability. How many of you really take accountability in your lives for what's going on? How many of you take the accountability when you succeed? And how many of you take the accountability for the failure of yourself, of your family, of things in your community, of a group? Or are you a finger pointer? Which one are you? Only you know. Only you know. You have to take charge. You take charge and you consider yourself accountable for all failures, all successes. And don't be the one who points the finger and blames others. Got a great example. I was up at DMV the other day. Wow, what an experience. What an experience. But it was a good chance for me to learn. So here it is. It actually wasn't, it was a hot day, but it wasn't too crazy hot. I got there at 8:30 in the morning and I actually got serviced at 1:00 in the afternoon. But as I'm laying there on the pavement, reading a book, because at the DMV, you can't go inside until you're called inside. A couple of things happened. Here's one. You got this app on your phone and it told you where you were in line. So there'd be times I'd go I started at number 24 and I moved down to number 18 like right away. I'm like, oh, cool, this isn't going to be too long. Then I moved back up to number 21. Then I moved down to number 16. Then I moved back to number 18. Now I didn't even start questioning it until I got to number 5 and then I moved to number 7. By this time, it's like 12 o'clock. But I heard all this complaining. And my mindset was, I'm going to go find out why that happens. And it made sense after they told me. And what it was is you have different windows in the DMV. And if a person goes to window number 1 but ends up at number 5 while they're in there, that bumps you because you were supposed to start at window number 5. So that bumps you back a little bit. Okay, I get it. My other mindset was, I got to get this done anyway. So you know what? However long it's going to take me, I'm just going to wait. But by God, I could not believe the mindset of other people who thought I should be serviced right now. Like, here's a parking lot full of 25 people, and what makes you think you're any different? Mindset. So, taking accountability, staying above being above waters like this means you're ready to take charge of whatever situation you're in, and you're prepared to fulfill the responsibilities of being in charge, whether it's good or bad. Now, guys, when I say fulfill the responsibilities, that's your nutrition plan. That's your workout. You hear me say every day in my groups, here's the bottom line. This is your workout. This is not my workout. You're accountable to bring everything you have to your workout. Because you're the one that wants the results from this workout. And it's designed to bring you desired results. So you're in charge. You now hold the responsibility to that. And you're responsible for the outcome, good or bad. Vision. It's the other thing you get with a growth mindset. You get a great vision. With that right mindset, you're always looking ahead and preparing for what's ahead of you. Instead of running around scrambled, like you got one foot tied to the ground, you're going around in damn circles. It means you have to reinvent yourself, or reinvent what you do and how you do it. That's when you meet the challenge. That's when you meet the challenge, guys. You have to reinvent yourself. I still hear the same things all the time. I got back on my food plan. 3 days goes by. How's the food plan go? Oh, well, you know. Tell me as a coach, what am I missing? It's as simple as listening. I can't believe sometimes how many times I have to repeat. 4 sets, 8 reps, 4 sets, 8 reps, 4 sets, 8 reps. Well, by God, you know what the problem with that is? If you're not listening to 4 sets, 8 reps, how are you ever going to listen to mindset, fixed, or growth? It's almost like, boom, it shuts right down. The minute it hits, boom, it shuts. Where is it going to resonate? Where does that change come in? Because that's what we do differently here. That's what we do differently here. We pride ourselves on those results, but those results can only be achieved if you have the right mindset. And yeah, it is about sacrifice, guys. It is about reinventing yourself. You know, the other day I did a talk on nutrition and fueling, and the weekend doesn't start on Thursday night. Right? So you don't miss the gym on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't do your fuel plan from Monday to Thursday. The weekend doesn't start on Thursday night. Unless you're on vacation, that's a different story. Okay? So how do we tie and sum all this up? So I mentioned the word mental toughness. And I was thinking to myself, well, what's the best thing I can do here? So the best thing I can really do is to give you a quote from Vince Lombardi. I love Vince Lombardi, man. Those of you who don't know, he was a great NFL coach for the Green Bay Packers, and had some great vision. And here's what the quote is. It says, mental toughness is many different things, and it is rather difficult to explain. Its qualities are sacrifice and self-denial. Its qualities are sacrifice and self-denial. Let me say that again. Also, most importantly, It is combined with a perfectly disciplined will that refuses to give in. It's a state of mind, you could call it character in action. Let me read it to you again. Mental toughness is many different things and rather difficult to explain. Its qualities are sacrifice and self-denial. Let's examine that for a second. To achieve what you want to achieve, folks, what are you willing to sacrifice and self-deny yourself? Because where you've been and what you're doing ain't been working. Unless you're willing to stay right where you're at and not point the finger and not complain. What are you willing to sacrifice? And to what extent of self-denial? It is combined with a perfectly disciplined will that refuses to give in. How many of you, something small, simple bear crawl march, drop to your knees and give in? And we're only doing it for 30 seconds. I don't care what it looks like. Just don't quit. You have to have a will that refuses to give in. And folks, I'm not going to sit here and say, I haven't dropped the kettlebell and walked away and said, blah, 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 but came back. So I'm not pointing fingers. I'm taking accountability. It's a state of mind. You could call it character in action. I don't need to say much more about that. So do I have any questions before I read my last thing that I want to give to you guys today? Because I thought it was phenomenal when I walked in and it was up in a corner and it just, boom, it hit me. Does anybody have any questions for me regarding mindset? And yes, Lori, I agree with you. All you got to say is the 4 a.m. crew, but we also have to look and say, okay, how many days have we missed? How many times were we not there? Take that accountability. Shauna, absolutely love it. I'm not with a victim mentality. I'm with a victor mentality. I'm not with a victim mentality. I can't play. I can't play down that road. Last night, I'll share this with you. We're watching a show. The girls were watching a show, and I actually like it. It was the British Baking Challenge, and they have different contestants on. And there was a kid on there who was a hell of a baker. I mean, he was phenomenal. But you could see in him, he had this victim mentality. And I could see myself getting angrier watching that show. So Vinny looks at me and says, yeah, Dad, I know this is killing you. And I said, I basically just said, and Kathleen really liked this kid. I said, I like the kid. I said, he's going to probably win this thing. I said, but that pathetic look that I said, I don't like his antics. That pathetic look he gives the judges when they come up. It's like he's so fragile, and I'm not with that. Don't placate me to get a vote. Put your stuff up on the table. You did what you did. Now let them judge it. And whatever the outcome is, it is, man. But don't go with that sympathy attitude. So you're right, Shauna. I'm not with the victim. Not in these cases here. There are victims in life, and my heart goes out to those people. But when you're in this gym, don't play that victim mentality. Play the victor mentality, because that's what it's all about. Don't make the excuses. So the last thing I'm going to leave today, and I want to read it to you because I thought it was so cool. It says, and this is what I want you to take with you today. This bright new day, complete with 24 hours of opportunity, choices, and attitudes. A perfectly matched set of 1,440 minutes. This is a unique gift. This one day cannot be exchanged, replaced, or refunded. So handle it with care. Make the most of it. There is only one to a customer. Read it to you one more time. This bright new day, complete with 24 hours of opportunity, choices, and attitudes. A perfectly matched set of 1,440 minutes. This unique gift, this one day, cannot be exchanged, replaced, or refunded. So handle it with care. Make the most of it. There's only one to a customer. What else can I say? What else can I say? You only get one body and you only get one chance at it. You only get one mindset. Make the right choice. If you really want to change your mindset. I love you guys. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully Monday, I will see all of you and go seize today. Go do something. Go do something today. Go do something for you to affect and influence somebody else. Anybody got any questions for me? Coaches, go learn. Go open your mind to something different. Don't stick to just what you know. Okay? Anybody? All 13 of you, thank you so much for being on. If you like what we're talking about, remember, it's here for your growth. It's not here as a put down. It's here as an awareness, an awakening. Okay? So the chance to do something different and be involved in a community that wants to make a difference for you. Love you guys. Make it great. Go do something. And we'll see everybody next week. Be safe. You're welcome, Laura.